And good evening. Welcome to Marshall Meh, episode 6. So, Renee, getting some good feedback on the previous episodes and kind of the new
Yeah, like
the new dean who just doesn't care anymore.
getting some really, really good feedback on everything we've done so far. So, looking forward to like the next conversations because that's what we're having, right? Just
Yeah,
conversations.
yeah. I've had Laurie on before, and we might touch upon this, but yeah, I think she'll give us a realistic point of view, just like far as logistics and reality, like what women are going to be able to really do against an angry guy who's assaulting them. And we'll touch upon weaponization, the overhaul of the current women's self-defense. And again, I think some people, I think they're doing the best they can with what they're working with. I think their intentions are good, but then I think there's some others that their intentions are somewhat questionable, to be
Yeah,
honest.
money based.
Yeah, Hey, it's funny. I was thinking about you today. Like you had the incident at the bar stool. It's a good thing. It's funny. You had the incident with the gun range telling that guy what you should do. Wasn't there like a Home Depot incident that something happened? I shouldn't be bringing this up, but I was thinking when I was driving, and I was actually cracking up while I was thinking about
Which one? When I was carrying my son, or the one where I was asking for some information?
I think it might have been information. That one.
Yeah, there's a couple. Like
Just,
whenever I go to Home Depot, like my wife always is like on high alert because I know if someone says something. And again, I am speaking from someone who's been in the trades for 35 years. So forgive me if I sound like, like I'm a bit, I don't even know what the proper word is, but I was walking into a Home Depot and I was holding on to my son, and a lady in front of me said, can you hurry up? And I turned around and I said, go fuck yourself. And what her husband or boyfriend, whatever, whoever he may be, was looking at me. I was just staring at him. I wasn't even looking at her because I was like, at this point, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you actually thinking about
uh,
creating an issue with me? So,
I know. Little does she know. But hey, we already got.
even, like, my wife even actually walked up and said, don't. I
Please,
just like,
please, please walk away, please.
I just kept walking.
We we already got some folks watching. Folks, if you're watching, tell us where you're watching from. Lori's the guest tonight, and I'm going to take a crack at this. I got it right the first time. Calcaterra. She'll let me know how I do. How I
Let's
did.
do this.
All right. Without further ado, guys, if you got questions, please put them on right hand column. This is going to be an interesting subject tonight. Women's self defense. What do you guys think? Let us know what you think. Current industry and etc. All right, here we go. Hey, hey! Thank you for coming on. How you doing?
I'm good. Hi, everybody. Dean,
Hi.
it's been too long. I'm so glad that you invited me to come on. And Renee, it's
Yeah.
wonderful to meet you.
And like I said, like we both envy
This
your
microphone.
microphone compared to
Whoa!
what we're using because
I
we
feel
are
ridiculous.
we are the Neanderthals of microphones right now.
It's okay. It's okay. When you start doing a lot of podcasting like I do, it's like eventually you're just like, I need to sound better. I need to up my game.
No, I think I want to do this forever just because that way it
You can
really
get into the
upsets people
microphone.
around me.
Yeah, yeah. It's like we already have all the knives. The knife collection, is going. It's like now we need microphones. Yeah.
Yeah, you and man. So we're just going to jump into it. So the topic at hand before we go into what your current project, which I think deserves attention, and we'll speak on that. So I'm going to let Renee title this first. So I guess let's tackle the title. Should it be that title? Let's just get different opinions, yay or nay, why it should be that title. So I initially don't have the dog in the fight in the title. I look at the whole industry. I just think it should be overhauled. I think it's poor current status quo. But I do see the argument. Well, maybe the title should just be self defense. But I want to get your opinion, Laurie. But Renee, go ahead. What do you think?
First of all, like I just want to make sure that I say this right now. these are just my opinions, and I don't want to offend anybody. And if I do, then
I'm
I'm not
offended.
really sorry, but I just want to let you know.
No,
These
go
are
ahead.
just my opinions, and I'm coming from a standpoint of the old guy martial artist sort of thing, and I think we need to work on the women's self-defense courses, and like what I've seen over the years, which has been more like a money grab than an actual self-defense course. So that's kind of where I stand on it. So I think more than anything else, I want to know from you is, what do you think women's self-defense is now? Like what are you like focusing on?
What am I focusing on? Well, I
Or
don't.
what do you think it should be?
What do I think it should be? Gosh, I think um, I really feel like women need the time to be able to commit to taking classes. And that's the hard part. Because what you guys are referring to are these 2 hour, you know,
Quick fixes.
2 hour women's self-defense course. And it's like, and I've seen those put on. And again, no one's going to retain anything if you just go to 1-2 hour self-defense course. So I'm kind of with Dean where things need to be overhauled, but in a way where we can make things available to ladies so that way they want to come, they have a camaraderie there, and that they understand they're taught, tactical things that are real. That understanding, I'm not going to overpower a man. Like we teach people chokes and holds on the first day. Like that's not realistic.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and let me also just say this, like when it comes to fighting and like when it comes to like the people that I train with, I find that women are a hell of a lot more vicious than most men are when it comes to fighting. So I will just say that. My problem is nowadays where you sign up for a martial arts class and then they're like, oh, you need to take this extra course to learn how to defend yourself.
That's a money grab.
And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like,
right.
Hey, like if I take Muay Thai and I'm being taught Muay Thai to fight, then why do I need to take a course to teach myself how to be more, like street smart or whatever you want to call it? Oh, you're still there. To defend myself. Like to me, that's actually ridiculous. And
do you think we should put everybody through that though, where it's like being more cognizant of your surroundings, stress inoculation, if you're going to carry a weapon, how do you wear it? Where do you wear it? Stuff like that. It's all basics that, a lot of times if you're taking Muay Thai or you're taking a weapons class, you're in a uniform and you already have your weapon in your hand. We're not teaching that.
I wish that they would teach that, but they don't. I think like nowadays it's more of a, I hate to say this, but actually I won't, I don't hate to say it at all. It's people love to say, I take a class to do this, like I do martial arts, but they don't teach self-defense. And that's a big, like, that's a challenge for me. Like, I hate what I see and what's going through. And then people saying, well, I've taken this course, so I should be safe.
Ugh, I hate that.
But here, like, let's look at, generally speaking, the current industry. Okay. You have a sign up, you go in the grocery store, you see a pin up, your friends tell you about it. So you go with a girlfriend or whatever, et cetera, and you go. And again, you're just getting information thrown at you that you're going to grab this guy and you're going to knee him, elbow him, but yet you have no idea of power generation. You're just going to do this stuff thinking that it's going to offset somebody that's 200 pounds and just wants to obviously do you harm. And there. So I think, and the whole other thing is that you touched upon, Laurie, like the whole thing of, identify your surroundings, but it's like, how about like, okay, are you on somebody's radar? Is somebody paying particular attention? How do they bridge the gap? How did they get there outside jumping out of a tree in ambush?
Right.
ambush, I don't even cover just because there's so many aspects to ambush. I mean, like, did the guy probably with an M16 or did he, you know, um, but I think there needs just to be just so much more on like how did they get there and like how to create, distance. And then when you were talking about the weapon, most classes are already out because you're doing a dueling, sparring, drill
Right.
formats. But I think even before that, finding the comfortability of what the woman, what she would even carry, what's her comfort level?
That's part of it too. You know what I mean? But as women, a lot of times we get into these martial art classes, and it's either one way or the other, where it's like, okay, you're a lady, you're going to stand by yourself, you're going to practice these forms while the rest of us spar. Or they throw you in the mix and you're like, you're just as tough as the rest of these guys and you can stand your ground. Neither one of those are correct, right? Because in my opinion, I need to know the mechanics. I need to know that geometry so I don't get hit, because you guys hit twice as hard as I do, right? So I can't stand there and take hits, and I'm further away, so I have to be more savvy as a fighter. So again, when it comes to women, and we need to understand our capabilities, and everybody's going to be different, right? Everybody's going to have strengths and weaknesses, but to come at it realistically, I think is what we're missing. Where it's either you get thrown in with a bunch of dudes, which I mean I've done that, right? Or I've been in the corner by myself practicing jurus while everybody else spars. So
why is everybody doing that? You're in a corner.
No, but like honestly, like one of my favorite, like this is going back 25 years ago when I was with one of my instructors who used to teach women's self-defense. We had like the fist helmets on and like the like 3 layers of like shin guards and arm guards and everything else. And we were basically at one point said, we are just going to attack this person and they have to do something about it. And it gave them a really good idea of what they had to do in order to, defend against myself, who's a 220-pound psychopath, right?
right.
And for me, I had to like. Part of it was me like speaking to him, saying like, "Listen, like, you are the last, stronghold before we get to your kids.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do about it?" And that's the only way they actually, a lot of these people got away from the like giggling, like, hey, we're hitting pads, to like we're hitting, this human being, to stop them from doing stuff. And I think that's what's missing today when it comes to like self-defense in general, not women's self-defense, but just self-defense in general, where people think, oh, I can do A, B, and C and stop somebody. But like with me, it's like, I'm coming for you and you need to stop me. So, sorry,
this is
it's
so
very
tricky.
long-winded.
This is so tricky, Renee, because with women, if you jump right into that sparring, you're going to lose a lot of them.
Hell yeah.
Over stressed.
Okay. Yeah, because unless you're a psychopath like I am, where I'm like, let's spar, those ladies are not coming for that. They're not. They want to learn how to protect themselves, but it's like I agree with you that we need to put them in an uncomfortable situation, because I'm a big believer in stress inoculation. You're only going to fight how you practice, and if you've never put yourself in that stressful situation, you're either going to flee or mess up or something, right? And so to put these women into that situation, if you do it at one of those 2-hour seminars, they're gone. They're not coming back. And so this is the hard part where I don't think we figured it out.
That's part of the problem, is that we have Hollywood, we have the Hollywood idea of self-defense, and then the reality of self-defense. Yes. And so someone like yourself who's like, yeah, hell yeah, like throw me in there.
Yes.
Let's go. But that's the reality. You're somebody who wants to survive.
And the minority. I mean, there's not a lot of women that have her mental, framework,
So, and listen, and I won't just say like women, like guys as well. Let me just throw that out there as well. Like there are guys out there who are, I don't want to, like, I don't want to spar right off the bat. I just want to, like, I want to put on the belt and hold the belt over my head and say how good I am, instead of actually like get someone who wants to actually hurt me. And I think that's what's missing in today's training, is that if you want to survive, you need to be able to deal with someone who actually wants to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
How-
And you also have to understand, like I keep going back to, but your own capability, your own weakness, you know, pushing that limit. So me sparring someone open-handed would be hard. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So my way around that is I carry at all times. So I mean, it's, you know, but still, it's like how many things can you carry on your person, and how many things are you at the grocery store with your kids? Are you at the Texas State Fair where everybody is now stampeding you? You know what I mean? Like it just
Mhm.
depends on the situation. So I think you guys are both right where things need to be looked at. We need to kind of go through, but I think that like situational awareness, maybe some de-escalation techniques. It's hard for us ladies because usually if they're coming after us, you can't de-escalate, right? It's not a bar fight. It's not a road rage. It's they want our life or something else.
Yep.
Yeah. What about?
And when it comes to like carry, like my kids know that I carry, and they
Mm-hmm.
know what side I carry on, just like
Good.
my wife does. So if I happen to go down because I've lost, they know what side to access my EDC sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another thing, like people don't like train as well. Like, you know, like who cares if you carry? Like you need to make sure the people around you are ready to take up that you know, that failure if it happens.
But here's the thing, though. Just touching on Lori here. Yeah, I'm going to throw a scenario
And
at you,
touch you.
Lori.
Touch
For,
Lori.
yeah. I'm going to here. This is something, and I have to give full credit to Tom Sodas. I think he has probably one of the best things, and it's called Truly Safer. And what it really is that it's based on, first of all, again, not covering ambush. That there was a bridging of gap, there was a dialogue. You're seeing this person approaching. There was space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what he does is the whole basis of the program it's based on its weaponization. It's based on what you would be comfortable. I mean, so there's a scalability: gun, knife, flashlight, palm stick, or wherever else that has a blunt translation that's not edge or pointy. But so what he does is it's the whole thing of back the F up. In other words, like before they get there, you're being assertive, your hands are up, but the whole thing is though that you've committed to having a weapon, that being your choice, of course, like what you're comfortable with, what's legally defensible, your moral compass, your value system, all that being in play. But where you're ready, I mean, like you got that fence, but you have it out or you're ready to get out, you know where it is, you're not looking to bomb your pocketbook where there's 10,000 other things. That is the best program that I've seen thus far, where it's not going to a bunch of choke defenses and this and that. It's just realistic. Like, okay, back off there and giving me time to be assertive and get my weapon. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you, for face value? Obviously, there's more to it, but for face value, what do you think?
I think that would be very useful because a lot of people understand that there's a threat and don't know what to do, right? Until it's on top of you, and then it's too late. So understanding that you have to be assertive when there is time, when there is space, I think is essential for someone like myself. So I think that should be taught in self-defense, women's self-defense. Now, can we talk about that? Can we talk about these 2-hour sessions that people go to, the good and the bad, and like maybe how we could rework those? Because here's the thing, as a woman, a lot of my friends will ask me, hey, Laurie, can you teach us stuff? Yeah, but in 2 hours, what am I going to teach you? Right?
So what if you want from a tactic? What if you want from a pre-violence, like what if you just the engagement and you were based it off the engagement I'm just thinking out loud here. You based off
Yeah.
engagement where you're not like stressed. Okay, what am I going to give them? I got 2 hours. Am I, you know what I mean? But you want in stages the way things unfold.
Yes.
I
You know
think
what I mean?
like
That would be key. But
my biggest
I
problem.
also think that we do need that aspect of get them up and moving. And if like for me as a woman teacher, I'm not teaching them the stakes. I need that man, that large man, to be teaching with me, who can show them that you can do this move on Laurie, but you can't do that on this person. You know what I mean? It's not the same. And so they need to understand, and they also need to understand that if they really want to be good at it, that they have to commit to it, and they need to show up to class.
110%. I think like that's the biggest problem I find with any kind of self-defense, whether it be women or self-defense in general, is you need to, like high percentage hits or whatever else, but you need to let people know this is what it's going to be like. And you need to let people know, this is what it feels like. For me, that's a big thing. It's just like, you need to allow people to realize that this may work on someone who is smaller than you, whatever, but when you have a 230-pound psychopath in front of you, this is what you need to do in order to win.
Right.
So.
And then to actually put them in that situation in a safe place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
allow them to understand, like, this is what this is a safe place for you to do this.
Right. No one's going to get hurt. No one's, like, you can make mistakes here and it's okay. But we need to build up that stress. You have to understand what it feels like when someone is rushing at you, when someone is screaming in your face.
And I think we can all agree, like, before we continue, some training is better than no training, right? Like,
yes.
So, like, I am martial arts jaded, so that's why I say the things that I say. But some training is better than nothing. But in the end, like you said, you need someone who's going to be in that room, who is not going to be the I'm giving this to you. It's more like, you have to take this away from me. Like, you have to take away the time, location, and control from me. And you need to have someone who's going to be, like, the realistic part of this, like, self-defense, where it's like, I'm doing everything I can to throw you in this car, and you have to do everything you can to not allow me to put me in there, to put you in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is, here's the other thing too. I think women need to be involved. If there's going to be an upgrade in the community, or whatever you want to call it, women's self-defense, overall self-defense, whatever, I'm not so hell-bent on that. But what I am kind of hell-bent on is the women need to be part of this. Like, it is a male-run industry. Who the hell are we to basically tell what you guys should be doing or shouldn't be doing? Like, you guys, I think, need to be part of this kind of rebuilding or just overhaul of what is currently called women's self-defense. But I really think you guys have to be involved. What are you comfortable with? Are you comfortable with somebody just coming up in a class setting and just grabbing at you? I mean, I can tell you right now, they might not be, and without even like getting their feedback. I mean, what do you think?
I think there needs to be both a male and female component to these classes. One, because if a man is doing a technique on a lady, again, it suspends the belief system that women can do these things, right? Because it's easy for you. So for me to be demonstrating the techniques or demonstrating the mindset or mentality on a male is really what we need to have. And so, yes, we need to be a part of it. We need to be a part of the structure. It's just, I think the hardest part of all of this with women's self-defense is time. Everybody is so goddamn busy.
But what if they zoned in? And I totally get that. Like, they can't go to get some grappling work. They can't go to get some clinch work. They can't go to get some good striking, like all the ranges and some weapons where they could, like, they're being, trained to be well versed, right? I know they don't have time. We don't even have time for that, right?
Yeah, but why do we find more men in that than women?
I think that male hierarchy, younger males, I just think the testosterone, ego. I think there's a bunch of reasons for that. I mean, I think it's women staying home cooking. You know what I mean? Not that I'm agreeing with all that. I'm
Staying home
just
and
kind of
cooking.
giving.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah. I
the
mean,
duty, the household has been that way for a long time.
Yeah. No, and I get it, and I agree with you. That's why the industry makes these clinics, because they're taking that to account that women are not going to have all this quote unquote free time, but they need to dial in. And I think so. In other words, I think it's going to be unrealistic to expect, okay, for you to get the best of it, you're going to need to do this on Tuesday, then on Thursday, you're going to need to go. I mean, we have to I think it needs to be concept based, like where they're not just getting overwhelmed with a bunch of stuff they're not going to remember, they're not going to practice, and they're sure as hell not going to do when there's stress involved, right? Mm-hmm. I think it needs to be tactic based, and I think they have to be comfortable, wherever it may be, with a weapon. I just don't see any other way in a short amount of time where they're going to have given a fighting chance.
I think it has to do with mentality. Like honestly, I have to like my wife, for example, she was on the side of the road waiting for someone to pick her up, and this dude was giving her a hard time. And when he got aggressive with her, she got hyper aggressive with him and dropped him. She kicked his feet from underneath him. When he went to get up, she kicked him in the face. And I think that's part of it too, is that you have to understand, like for me, in my opinion, again, for what it's worth, is you have to let people know that it's okay to be aggressive. It's okay to be, like that hyper aggressive person to win, because we live in a society where aggression actually will trump a lot of social norms. And I am perfectly okay with it. Like with my students and the people that I teach, it's all about being aggression will win a lot of times. So
can I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
Would you date a martial artist woman who's better than you?
Yes.
I wouldn't care. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
I would be, matter of fact, I would be humbled, honored, proud, all the above. Yeah.
I find you guys to be in the minority.
Speaking really?
I would experience. Because I started training when I was 17, and I had a bunch of relationships where the man ego was threatened by what I was capable.
I think it'd be beautiful. No issue.
Honestly,
with
it's his win, right? It's his.
I'll just say with all due respect, like fuck those people. Like yeah.
But they're out there. They're out there.
Right? Listen, like
that's why I hang up. Yeah.
Like my wife, before we were actually dating,
mm-hmm.
like she already knew I was a dog brother. She was training to fight at gatherings, and she fought at gatherings and everything else. And to me, it made for me, it was just like, yeah, that's awesome, because she wants to be a better fighter and better whatever.
Well, I think part of that too is you both train.
Yes. So. And she has surpassed me in a lot of her training and like when it comes to BJJ and everything else. And to me, that's it's awesome.
That is.
I love the fact, because to me, it's also, she is teaching our kids
mm-hmm.
that if you want to survive in certain situations, you have to fight. So right. I have no problems with women being stronger, or training more,
it'd be awesome, man.
I love hearing that, and it's of course, you guys both are in martial arts, so women in martial arts is not something that's scary to you. But the average Joe who doesn't know how to fight,
I could see that. I can see the martial artist being proud, honored, but I can see the non-martial artist. I could see that. Okay.
Yes.
Then you're dating the wrong person.
And you're dating the wrong person, I guess. But how? I mean, if we're trying to normalize women being able to do these things, we need to change our mindset.
I think, and again, this is just my opinion, if you are in today's society where you have to be a certain way and make sure that you can protect your family, it doesn't have to rely just on me. So the fact that my wife can take care of business if I'm dead, that's a good thing. And if you have a problem with that, then you're an idiot.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's on them. That's on them. You know.
But it's part of culture. It's interesting because the two things that I do, right, martial arts and writing comic books, they're both male-dominated industries. And so when we go to like, this is funny, we go to like the neighborhood barbecue over the summer, everybody's in the street, the kids are all playing, and you're talking with your neighbors. My husband always tells me, don't talk about martial arts and don't talk about your comic book.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Because the rest of the ladies on the street do not understand.
On my side, my wife always says, I can see your knife, which is basically, the neighbors can see it as well as I'm walking down the street or whatever. And we carry, like, my entire family carries. It makes me super happy that we do, because again, like, I always look at it like, if I fail in my duty and I drop down, I know that she can take over and take care of business.
Nice. I posted a question here. I'm just curious if people.
And by the way, I had no idea that you actually do comic books.
Interesting statement. Yeah. What's that?
I had no idea that you actually do comic books.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it.
We'll talk about it. I don't think we're ready to change.
No. But
I do write comic books. So what do you mean by weaponized? Like, we should use more weapons, or is it weaponized against?
I mean, just like
money-making scheme. Mm-hmm.
I mean, anything. It could be blunt, edge, but I mean, just an equalizer in general. And yeah, of course, all the drawing, having it there, knowing where it is, but and I'm not saying it needs to be knife specific, knife centric. I mean, anything that they're comfortable with. I just feel to give them a fair shot.
Yes.
Everything that we've gone over, where they're not going to have the time to go to weekly classes, to train all the different ranges, and et cetera, et cetera. I just think it has to be weaponized. But this is where I think you guys need to be part of the decision. Like, you're obviously what you're comfortable with. I mean, who the hell am I to tell you? Okay, yeah, you got to get a knife. You know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous, because there could be legality issues depending on the state you live in or country. And there. But yeah, all right, John. Yeah, no argument there. Yeah, folks, let me know. I'm just curious what you guys think, that if you're watching, is all. Like, what do you think?
You like this one? We've talked about this one.
What is
one
that?
of my favorites. It's a hairpin.
That hairpin, I love
this.
It's from Brian, right?
It is from Brian.
Brian, those things were, I had like 6 and I gave them. And of course, the last one I had. Can't forget.
This is my hairpin.
You need some more hair. Is that what happened? You just kept trying to put it in, the hair's gone. Yeah, and I mean, like, you carry I'll have a knife, I'll have a hairpin, and it depends on, again, what people are with. But again, how are people going to be comfortable with that unless they know how to use it?
Yeah, there definitely has to be some training, but it can't get complicated, though. In other words, like, I'm going to go into Piper module. Reverse grip. Like, anybody can do this gross motor motion.
Yes.
Regardless of knife.
Uh-huh.
Anybody can do this. Now, anybody can do orbits. This is that point. This could be a flashlight. This could be a hairpin. This could be a palm stick, travel wrench, knife. It doesn't matter. The orbit is still going to give you the most shots. You start getting to, you're going to cross mid. No. Orbits, right? Mm-hmm. I think there's a way to go about it regardless of the weapon. Just give them, like, things that are going to come out. Gross motor, that arcing, right? That power, natural power generation coming from the reverse grip, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then if you can, like, pinpoint target.
I think part of the problem is that we tell people that they have to like behave when it comes to self-defense.
Well, you hear stories. Look what happened with
I'm
Someday.
sorry. Please don't hit me. And we
I don't
shouldn't
think
do
Laurie's
this.
got that problem.
For my thing is like, if I
See,
have
but
to
I
take
don't
a
have
photo
that
off,
problem. That's different for us,
Mhm.
right? Because if a man is attacking me, I'm going to defend myself and I'm not holding back.
Oh yes.
So it's way different than you guys having to maybe hold back or not,
Oh yeah,
unalive somebody right out the gate.
you get in court and they find out about our training and civil
Yeah, and then
suits.
I'm
and
going to be
You
100% honest with you.
like either a civil
It-
lawsuit.
It makes zero difference to me. Like the second I feel that I am threatened, I don't really care. Like to me, it's just like I have to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I want the people around me who I teach as well to be. It's like whether I don't want to separate, and that's what I meant. Like I don't want to separate between like women's self-defense or self-defense,
100%.
self-defense in general. If someone decides that they want to hurt me, and I am lucky enough to find out that they want to hurt me, then my safeties are off, and I'm going to put some work in.
I love that. He's gonna put some work in, man. I would not want to piss, man. I think about, man, probably not healthy. Probably.
This is what I love about this is that us that are trained individuals know that you can't judge a book by its cover. You know what I mean?
You shouldn't.
Because
Be,
three of us look like normal, happy people, well-adjusted people. We could all.
I am the happiest person you will ever meet.
Yeah. Some of the most dangerous people I know are like just happy-go-lucky, like you have no clue the danger you're in, right? So it's amazing what people are capable of.
And honestly, that to me is self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
Self-defense to me is that I have taken some classes. I realize what I need to do to defend myself, and I will do what I need to do to defend myself. Unfortunately, when it comes to like any kind of self-defense classes, they're like, well, if you do this, you might get in trouble. My thing is, I don't care.
How about protect first, put yourself in a safe.
If you're trying to hurt me, then I'll deal with the law afterwards. I'm cool with that. But that's part of the self-defense part of it is we are like pigeonholing people saying, well, if you do this, you might get in trouble. It doesn't matter. You are defending yourself. You should be allowed, in my opinion, again, is if someone decides to attack me, I will do whatever I feel is necessary to, do what I got to do, sort of thing.
Trisha, so do I. I'm a delicate flower.
Yeah, neither of you are delicate.
I can tell.
I mean, if she's in this chat, her and I are friends now.
Yeah.
Trisha, congratulations. We are now best friends.
Sorry, Trisha?
What's that?
You say Trisha?
Is it Trisha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's claiming she's delicate as a flower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She says, I identify as a delicate flower.
She does perform there when she's doing the hula.
Oh, yeah.
All that, but she's not I would not fully identify her as a flower.
It's just the appearance.
This is my problem. Like, this is my problem with like self-defense in general these days. It's just like
Trisha's like, who are you?
Well, this is you guys should obviously talk and be friends. You guys have what I feel similar characteristics and value systems. Laurie,
by the way, Trisha, I'm going to be in Vancouver next week.
Ooh.
Trisha,
but no, like my whole thing is my problem with self-defense is like they tell you what you should do, but they give you limitations as to what you should do. And that is a big fucking no-no to me. It's like, hey, let's just like rip people apart. If you are uninvited. So anyways.
Sorry.
I'll leave it there.
I'm being friends with Trisha in the chat.
No.
I wasn't listening.
No. You guys should. Okay. So take your time. Please do it.
Trisha, I'm in Texas. I'm Laurie Calcaterra. I've been training martial arts since 1997. Indonesian and Filipino martial arts. I'm currently in Calis Ilustrisimo under Guru Vico Perrine. That's me.
So, I guess
Hit me up, dog.
I don't want to belabor. I mean, we can segue into the other thing. Is there anything as far as the women? We all agree it needs to be overhauled.
We need an overhaul. I think there
Women
needs
need to be involved.
a cultural mindset
Yeah.
that needs to change where women are involved in their own self-defense. I think that men need to support them in that and help them make time so that when they can go.
110%.
Right?
I think we need to have women instructors.
Yes.
Yeah, they got to be involved. They got to be
who
involved.
teach women, and then have some sort of psychopath that they know.
Yeah, show up and try to throw hands, and then we beat
and say,
I think so, Kevin.
hey, listen, as a woman, this is the issue that we have, and this motherfucker right here is a friend of mine, but he's not going to be nice to you, and I want you to deal with him with the things that I teach you and make it work for you.
I need my friend Taki Kabir. He's in Detroit. He has like the whole suit that he would put on, and he would just let all the ladies just wail on him when we did. Because I helped put on some women's self-defense classes in October. It was when it was like Domestic Abuse Awareness Month. So Trisha, we're friends.
When I was doing these self-defense seminars with my instructor at the time. So I would actually take gear off, so I was more mobile.
That's scary.
And I remember one particular lady that was in the course, and she was like, every couple of minutes she would smile and laugh and make a joke, and I kind of like pulled her off to the side and said, hey, listen, I am a 200-pound psychopath. And the only thing that's going to separate me from attacking your kid is you. Like, what are you going to do? And I'm going to tell you right now, she beat the fucking brakes off me. And I loved it. Like, I remember like falling on the ground and I was trying to get up and she like soccer kicked me in the face.
Hopefully you still have that helmet on.
My fist helmet went this way and like my head went the other way. And I was like, that was really good. And she's like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm perfectly fine. And I remember like walking out of the like seminar and like collapsing because I was like unconscious because I was hit so hard. And I was like, that is exactly what I want those people to learn, is that they can beat the fuck out of someone like me. But their mentality has to change, and the way they're being taught has to change.
Here's another you touched upon, Renee, though. But think about this, though. Like, and this is why I further, again, I want to beat a dead horse on the ground. But the whole weaponization, right? I feel there should be an equalizer. Because when they got kids, I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Like, they're the last protector of the kids. Well, which also coincides, in my opinion, to assume the kids can cognitively understand and are older, having a plan with your family. But if you got family members that you protect, elderly kids, come on. To me, it's, I mean, what are you going to get in a boxing squaring match if they're a couple of, it's weaponized. You know, if you're protecting your kids, you know, that's just.
I think I mentioned this before. My wife was actually, she accidentally cut off this dude in a car. And like, then the guy was like chasing her with his vehicle, and she had both of her kids in the car. She did not want to fight with him, and she got away, but she had a knife in the car. Like she realized, like, this is more, I need to get away than actually fight this individual.
Yeah,
which is a lot of things like people don't do as well. So they don't teach you like the pick your battles or know the room sort of thing, right?
Yeah. All right.
So mindset. I tell you again, I'm that person that when we go someplace, I'm looking for exits. Subconsciously, I just get there and I'm like, there's the exit, there's the exit. You know, if someone were to come in this way, we'd go out that way.
That's good.
You know what I mean? But people, I don't know, people don't think like that.
I know,
especially ladies don't think like that.
No. Yeah, no.
Like when my wife and I hug each other, it's not always to see, you know, hey, I love you, but it's also to make sure that we have our knives on us.
You're like, are you armed? Good. Okay.
Yeah,
go back to the party now.
and this is something that, you know, like we have drills in the house, we have drills outside the house, and we have like self-check. Like,
People don't do this, Renee. They don't.
It's wrong.
I agree.
Self-defense is
I know where my weapons are, and I know which order I'm going to go for them. And like, if I'm upstairs, I have my weapons. If I'm downstairs, I have my weapons. I have them in the safe. I understand, the situation, but most people.
The problem is listen, even if you have a gun safe, I guarantee you that most people's partners don't know the combination.
That's a problem.
Yeah, again, it's a plan.
It's an absolute reality. Most people do not know the combination. They don't know they don't know where the loaded mags are, the unloaded mags are. Like, this is something that part of self-defense. Like, for me, if you choose to have a firearm in your house, then the person that you live with should know where that firearm is and also how to use it.
Right. Go to the range.
Because the reality is this: if I am part of a team, but I go down and I'm dead or injured, my partner should be able to take up that part of it.
You would hope so, but I think you and your spouse are a very small portion of the people.
So the people that are teaching anything other than that are failing you and everybody else. That's the way I look at it.
Yes.
And again, I am just a jaded martial artist.
Like that, but not everybody thinks like that.
I know, but then you are part of the. And I'm sorry, I'm not saying you.
Yeah, I understand, because I'm with you.
So then,
I believe you. But trying to convince my friends on the street that they need to learn weapon control.
I know, or just
not going to happen.
See, this is why women got to be involved.
I remember. Sorry, Dean. I'm going to cut you off.
No.
I'm not really sorry, but how many times do you have?
He's honest.
Like, people go to a self-defense seminar and their wives or partners will put some guy in a hold and like fuck him up and like mess him up and whatever else. And that guy will be like, I can't believe you did this to me. I don't ever want, I'm the one who's supposed to protect you. So don't even worry about this again. It's like,
yes,
no.
That's what I was talking about earlier.
Like, for me, I look at my situation is that there is a line of defense. And if I'm the first one to get there, then I'm the first line. If my wife is the first line, then she's the first line. Then I'm the second line. Like, it just, you have to learn to defend yourself as a unit.
He's the decoy.
Yeah.
Then I get him. That's
and I had a SWAT team break into my neighbor's house because they were drug dealers.
Wow.
And when I was teaching a seminar in New York, and my wife said, there's a bunch of Suburbans outside the house. And I said, what do they look like? Like, they're all like blacked out, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, take the kids to go to the basement.
Yeah. So you don't get shot by accident and crossfire.
Because we live in a townhome. Bullets will go through, the drywall. They won't go through the poured concrete walls.
Yeah.
And she did that. She got them all ready, like went down to the basement, was all ready. And she had the combos of the safe and everything else. And she held the fort. And to me, that was a success.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is what we have to teach when it comes to self-defense. It's not just the fact like, if a guy grabs you, you should do this, but the whole gambit of it. Like, we need to teach people that you need to be part of a unit, and you need to make sure that the people around you are part of that unit as well.
I'm reading the comments. Tony Caruso.
Yeah. Some good comments. Or definitely having a plan with the family.
Having a plan is key.
Yeah.
I stay while you exfil with the kids.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, if there's a fire in your house and you have no plan, you're all like, you're not getting hurt.
It's hard, but it's like, it's part of adulting, and you have to think about these bad situations. It's like, if someone breaks in, if something's on fire, Yeah, what if the grid goes down? I mean, like all of that. That's part of
Go back to it. Yep.
planning ahead.
This is right here. Like for instance,
Yeah.
like what Kevin's saying. Like I tell my family, we're in a parking garage. I'm just using an example, and somebody's creepy and there's something kicking off. Her job is to get the kids, get out of there, make the call, but get out of there with the kids, right? Whether the car's closest or the exit's closest. But the point being here, having a plan, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like my kids call me the God, what's the name of that? Like the Angry Birds, like that
Angry
show. Like
Oh, the
my
Angry
kids
Bird.
call me the Angry Bird, like Red.
You're
That's
the
what they
red
call
one.
me because I'm always like frowning. But
You just
they
have
know
rusty angry face, Renee.
by look alone, my kids know what to do. And I think that's anything, like when it comes to any kind of self-defense, is that if they see me switch, that they need to understand I have to look for mom, or mom's taking care of, A, B, and C until dad does his work. And unfortunately, I feel with any kind of self-defense these days, it's all hypothetical and bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, put the keys between your fingers, and all this other garbage. Like just you have to understand that you have to be aggressive. In my opinion, you have to be aggressive, and you have to, like, if that's a problem, that's where you have to go, take it out, and move on.
Amen. I think it was good. We covered
that's
it.
my
Right?
rant for.
No, I think it was good. Should we segue into the path of the Pell Writer?
So we got a great segue. So in my world, if
Yeah.
Renee goes down and his wife has to step up,
Yeah.
Renee can get back up because death is broken in my world. So,
Yeah.
but you're still you. You're not like a zombie trying to eat people. So yeah, that's the other thing I do besides martial arts is write comic books.
So why don't you give some history? Like what inspired you with the name and what's it about? And
Gotcha. Well, this actually came from practicing martial arts because I got into choreographing fight scenes with the production company with myself and Taki Kabir, Kurt Cornwell. We were choreographing for this production company called Coattail Collective based in Detroit. This was like 2017. And we did a short film called Catfishing, myself, Taki, and Fred Bigliardi. And we were just running off walls and knife fighting and running people over with cars and just doing like crazy stuff as kind of like our calling card of what we could do, for choreography-based business. And the production company asked me to start writing like short form web content. So I wrote this series called The Agency, which was like spy versus spy, lots of martial arts, a lot of fun. And we filmed the pilot. And then before we could do reshoots and get it out to the world, I moved from Michigan to Texas. And that's where we are now. So that all just kind of fell apart, right? So no more choreography, no more fight team. But in the meantime, I had written a full-length movie called Dead West. And it's a story about death being broken and what the world would look like in that situation. I didn't know what to do with this script. I was being told to pitch it to Netflix, but I didn't think anything would come of that. So I decided to produce it self.
Just let you know, like with the tens of people that follow us, maybe we can help you with that.
That would be great. Well, now it's a full-fledged comic book series. We're on our 6th issue right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. Like when I was on Dean's, when I murdered the fruit, it was you, me.
You were murdering the fruit, and then I think you didn't even come out with the first one yet, right? Or you were in the process thereof, right?
I was right around the beginning, yeah. So we first published in July of 2022.
That makes sense. Yeah. Wow. So some 3 years later, not even, you guys are on your 6th.
We're on our 6th individual issue. We have a trade paperback. I'm published in the UK. It's been a journey, and so
that's fantastic.
yeah, so it's a lot. So
How can I get a copy?
What's that?
How can I get a copy?
Well, there's a couple ways. Actually, there's like 4 ways. But right now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kickstarter. Do you guys know what Kickstarter
I've heard
is?
of it. I'm not
Yeah.
familiar.
It's crowdfunding, which basically I put up a goal and I say we want to try and raise $4,000 to pay for the art production and some of the print charges to make this comic book. And then I have a bunch of reward tiers, including our books, where
Right.
people can pledge money, and in return they get these rewards. And so all of our books are there now. So if you're new to Path of the Pill Rider, there's a catch-up tier, so you can get 1 through 6. You could get the trade paperback plus 5 and 6, because that's where we are. But I think outside the box. I'm pretty creative. So I have things like hot sauce on there. And I make the hot sauce myself. So there's that on there. I have t-shirts. I have all sorts of merch. We make wooden covers. There's a lot.
That's awesome.
But
Can you put this in the comment section?
What's that?
Can you put the links in the comment section?
Yeah, absolutely. I can. Let me see here.
I'm just thinking some
Or I can put it in
like
public chat.
with my daughter, like my 8-year-old. I always find like women who are doing stuff like this, and I kind of get their links and I send it back to my daughter so she can see, hey, look what people are doing, sort of thing. So this is awesome.
Yeah. It's something different, and it's a way for independent creators like myself to help with some of the costs. So I mean, like, it cost me probably $4,000 just in art production for every issue. Anyway, I can actually, can I share screen on here? I can.
You can.
I'll show you guys what the campaign looks like right now.
God. Awesome. Let me just put it up here.
And there it goes. We were funded in 25 hours. This was our fastest campaign yet.
Oh, there we go.
And we have about a week left, just over a week, 9 days. And so it's a apocalyptic Western. So I have, like, here, if you like things like Fallout, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Walking Dead, Cocaine Bear, those are kind of the boxes that we check. And so in this world where death is broken, we have undead everything. People, animals, insects, fish. But we don't, like I said, no flesh-eating zombies. It's not about that. It's more like having dementia and fast forward. So you lose your memories, you can become violent, you can become chaotic, vegetative. It hits everybody differently. And then
Sorry, are you talking about our past podcast right now?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. It was so funny that you're like, I don't want to kick a dead horse. And I was like, oh, because we have a horse situation in issue number 1. So, but this is kind of what it looks like, some of the interiors. It's a great time to get started on this, because we're about halfway through that first arc and things are about to get crazy.
You got to put links. You got to put links in the comment section.
Where I can't put links in the comment section. It doesn't let me put it in the public. I dropped it in the host chat. I don't know if you can grab it there and share it, Dean.
Let me just.
Or actually, you know what? I might be able to stick it on the Facebook.
Look, let me see here.
I have a friend of mine that does a comic book podcast.
Yeah.
And I think you guys would be awesome.
I would love it if you would put me in touch with them.
It's it's like the fastball special. I think you'd be actually awesome in that.
Thank you.
You know what you can do, Laurie? Send it to me Messenger, and I can put it in the comment section.
I'm gonna put it in your Facebook right now, because I just went over to that live stream.
There you go. That should make it work. Okay.
So,
Laurie, what is your EDC like for you?
Hairpin and a knife is usually my EDC. I just have like I don't have it upstairs. Do I? No, I don't. I just have a flip. It's a flip that I carry on the side of usually my jeans, and then the hairpin. Because the hairpin I can get too easy, and if I can't deter with that, then it's the knife. I could carry sticks, I would love to carry a longer weapon.
Yeah.
Like maybe I could pretend to have a cane.
I can't carry a hairpin.
I know. But I would love to carry a cane because again, for me, it's creating distance. I want that distance. And so sticks, I love machetes and knives and short swords. I got a ton of those. But again, it's not like you can just carry those around.
What kind of martial arts were you training in as well? Like that's the other thing. Like
Illustrissimo for
Uh-huh.
the last 5 years. Since I came down to Texas, I've been Illustrissimo. But
Anything
just
else,
Mali,
or?
Dos Pares. It's just FMA mostly. My base where I started was Penchak Silat. And so a lot of close quarters, small movements, but I love Illustrissimo, how it has like the combat geometry, the recta, and just it works great for my body type and my space. Because again, I'm realistic. I'm not fighting someone empty-handed. I'm not fighting Renee empty-handed. It's not going to go in my way, right? It's just not. So I want that space. I want to control the fight. So
Yeah. This is awesome. Wow. I can't believe from like, I mean, it's funny, like when I open it up, I would see like your live podcast, jump in and say hi and all that, but I had no idea to the magnitude that what you've got accomplished thus far with all this.
Yeah, we've been busy. We have a ton of stuff out there. We've been growing every year. It's been building and building. And I've been saying this since the beginning, like the story is great, but my favorite issue out of that first arc is number 7. And that's the one we're doing next. And so this is the perfect time to get involved and to read the story. Because when I drop the next one, you're going to want to know what, the past is to lead to this.
Oh, what led up to it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cause it's like it's 12 issues. Cause again, it was a full length movie and I broke it up into individual issues, about 24 pages. And then, Carlos, it will right now, not with these characters, but there is a character that's coming that is very, very skilled. We just haven't gotten there yet. We're almost there. Issue number 8.
True that Dean and I are getting free T-shirts?
What's that?
Is it true that Dean and I are getting free T-shirts? I'm just
T-shirt?
wondering.
I can send you issue 1 for free if you want. As a PDF, you can read it and get in there. T-shirts cost me money.
I'm just saying because that's what Dean said. He's like,
is it you're gonna blame Dean, huh?
Like Dean's like, ask for a free T-shirt. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to, but I will if I have to.
I got lots of cool stuff, you guys.
Can you, put it wherever you want. Put it in the link. Well,
I stuck it in. It's in the Facebook group.
I do see that. Yep.
On there, so
okay.
That's the best place for me.
Is that bring them to everything that you're speaking?
Yeah. So that takes you right to this Kickstarter.
Oh, gotcha.
And that's what I recommend you do because, let's say we're not live, because I run these Kickstarters probably 2 or 3 times a year, just depending on how quickly we get through issues. But I have a website. It's www.pathofthepalerider.com. I'll drop that as well.
Sure.
And you can get like books and most of my merch through the website, but some of the things you can't. Like you can't get that hot sauce from my website. There's a bunch of other things that are just on the Kickstarter. And so, I mean, like this has everything, but when we're not live, you can go to the web page and pick it up as well. We have digital.
I gotta get you in. I gotta get you in contact with Martin for
I would love that.
Like,
yeah. Because I'm always promoting this. This is my full-time job. I'm running that business. So
besides the hot sauce and the comic books, so do you also teach martial arts as well, or?
I was for a while. Again, it's hard here in Texas. Everybody's about jujitsu and MMA. So I was teaching a small group of people, but again, it's mostly adults, and it was just. Again, nobody had the time. It was inconsistent. And so I haven't taught in a while, which is fine. I'm enjoying doing lessons with Guru Vico. We do those via the internet. And then, of course, whenever he's in town, I make sure that I'm at those seminars as well. So that's it. But again, I mean, we were talking about women's time. The whole month of February, I'm promoting this this live campaign, I am not training. So it's real easy for us to say like, it's important, it's important, it's important. And then your schedule fills up. Like this is my second podcast today. I have another one after this one tonight. I have 3 tomorrow. I have 3 on Friday. And then I'm going to a Comic-Con all weekend. And then it's my last week. And I have maybe, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it ends on Friday. I have probably another 8 podcasts.
Which is kind of crazy because like, so Dean and I have this on Wednesdays and he won't take any of my calls.
What do you mean?
I'll wait until Wednesdays.
He's like, Renee, I've seen enough of you. Once a week is great.
He's like, I don't like you, and you know.
I don't think that's the case.
It is, but that's okay. It's okay. Like I've, you know.
You want to hear a fun fact? Carlos Flores, that's in the chat, was actually cast to be in the agency when we were working on that, and so he was going to be a part of that series.
Wow.
If we ever had a chance to do it, Carlos, right? That would have been awesome. But I'm doing this.
And when I first met Carlos, he and I were going to be on another movie as well.
Which one?
It's a long story, but it had to do with like different types of washrooms and like in parks. Never mind. We'll leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like we have Funko Pops. Yeah, Carlos, that would have been super cool. I really wish we could have gotten that done. It would have been, you know what, though? I can always turn that one into a comic book, too. That one's written. I wrote 12 episodes of that. That would have been fun.
If you do like a Dog Brothers type
now, that series is very heavy in martial arts compared to this one. This one is like existentialism, you know, how people would act in a crisis, food crisis, government overstep, this. We have undead bears. We have this character named Big James, who is an undead bear, and people love him. So I'm continually making Big James merchandise. But I would love to see the agency as a comic book someday. I have a few.
You know who Hugh Rookwood is?
Say again.
Rookwood? Yeah.
No.
He actually like he did some Dog Brothers like kind of like designs early in the early 2000s. He was going to do something, but it fell through. So that would have been pretty cool too.
There's another guy, Jeff T. Cruz, who I'm friends with on Facebook. That has.
Oh yeah, I just interviewed him.
His tattoo.
Yes, Dr. Natalim. I just interviewed him.
Thank you. Yeah. So I think he's doing the same thing, but his is, again, it's much more martial arts. It's, you know, a sword based off a sword fighter. Yeah. Mine is Western apocalypse, and we get martial arts in there soon. We just, this guy, the main character, Jude St. Clair, is a sarcastic bastard. He's just a brawler. So he's not super skilled. You're going to see like saloon brawls and fights that are interesting. But again, he's not the martial artist. There is someone else, a girl, that's coming into the story that favor? Is. And I mean, like, do you blame me? Of course, the girl is the martial artist.
I need a giant favor from you then. What? Is there any chance you can put me into some like episode, like a secondary or, you know, like kind of person who's in the background who gets shot or something?
So we have one of your here called Immortality right here. And we've been running this for a long time. It was so popular, we had to turn it off for a little bit. But you get drawn into the comic. It's called Immortality. So you get to live forever because your face is in the comic forever. But yeah, a lot of times we squish you in the book.
So Dean and I need to be in that. And as far as immortality, it's okay because I'm in the, you know, like the Canadian judicial system. I am actually in. So if me and Dean can be in that comic book, it'd be great.
There's a place right there.
Oh my God!
And what's funny is you won't be alive for long based off of where the story is.
Podcast right guys that, you know, we're talking about whatever, and Dean's the nice guy. I'm the not so nice guy. and it'll be perfect.
Well, I mean, where the story is right now, pretty much everybody is undead, except for like these two guys. So I could always get you in there as like a guy with his intestines hanging out. That would be fun.
I'll take it.
We might push you off a cliff too. You never know. Like
that's every morning for me. That's fine.
We made some guy into a sign. So like it's this way to the saloon, and it was just some dude like stuck to a sign forever pointing the way to the saloon. It's funny. I got a 6 sense of humor.
Wow, it's amazing to hear like just where this has gone from that like last having you on.
Yeah,
it's just
it's
like,
and
it's only been, it's like not even 3 years yet.
We're gonna be, it'll be our 3rd year this summer in July. So I count it from when like I received the actual books. You know what I mean? Because we kickstarted in I think March of 2022 for our first campaign. And then I got the books themselves for issue 1 July of 2022. So that's kind of what I gauge our years from. So this July it'll be our 3rd year. So we've been doing 2 or 3 campaigns a year. We're gonna trade paperback too. Now this one's not what it looks like because I rebind books as another hobby. I have a problem. So I took it was a soft cover is what ours is, but I took it off and I made it into a hardcover. But I mean it's 148 pages.
Look at that. Wow.
Isn't that cool?
Hey, how come, so with the podcast that you referenced that you're doing so many, is it promotional to this?
Yeah, it's well here's the thing, like the hardest part of being independent is that people don't know the cool stuff that you have. Like they don't know you exist, right? And so that's one of the things that as an indie creator, you do a lot of podcasts. So I go on a ton of podcasts and then I kind of want to pay it forward. So 2 of those podcasts that I do are promotional for other people. And so they can come on and I interview them and I introduce them maybe to a new audience that, you know, if they're into vampires, they're into drama, they're into martial arts. It's like there's a way for people to know that you exist as an indie creator because it's hard. Nice. I mean, you can pitch Marvel and you can pitch to DC, but they're not picking stuff up right now. The comic book industry is a mess right now. There's a big publishing house called Diamond. It's a distributor that just declared bankruptcy. And so everything's kind of a mess.
Everything's up in the okay. So they're not Marvel.
Which would explain why my story has not been picked up yet.
You and me both. So, but again, it's just,
like angry martial artists.
What?
Disgruntled
martial artist. We can write that.
Like handsome and a bunch of other stuff, and whatever. Like it's not being picked up.
Well, I'll just have to write. I'll write it for you. How about
that? And even Dean was part of my pitch. I was like, hey man, I got a guy who is like really shitty blinds, and. He's got a Misfit shirt on, and
I like that Misfit shirt. I think it fits you, Dean.
We're reliving our youth, and there's dogs barking in the background. Like, what do you guys think?
This I want to point out that this is one of the only if you're not local to me, this is one of the only places you can get my hot sauces, because I can't sell them from my website. There's a loophole because
these hot sauce infamous.
I am hot sauce infamous. Yes.
Okay.
It's great.
Okay.
So wait. We can't buy hot sauce from you if
my website.
Definitely do.
Correct. Well, okay. So on Kickstarter, you're pledging. It's not a sale. It's a pledge. There's a difference. I'll just let that hang there. So what you're doing is you're supporting me getting to my goal, and I reward you with stuff, right? And so what these are is technically a free sample of hot sauce with your pledge. And that's the loophole.
So Glenn, Carlos, everybody else who's listening, you got to get this hot sauce. And the only way we can do it is through pledge.
Well, it's through here or see me in person. I can sell it in person. So like I'm going to be at Texoma Comic-Con this weekend in Durant, Oklahoma. And so I'll have the hot sauce with me there too, but you can't find it on my website is the thing.
Is it? Okay.
Because there's FDA rules. right?
Ah, all right.
Yeah,
And
for the FDA.
yeah, Carlos, you really would like. So there's three of them, right? So the one all the way on the right is a ghost pepper barbecue.
Ghost pepper. Ooh.
Ghost pepper, but it's not. I wouldn't call it super hot. It's like a medium hot. There's 5 ghost peppers for a batch, which is like 12 bottles. Okay, so all of these have a good flavor. It's not so much about the heat. It's more about the flavor. They still have heat. It'll still give you that bite, but you won't have like that nasty afterburn, if you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I can't.
Sorry, Glenn. The middle one is mango habanero. So again, it's a completely different
That sounds
flavor
interesting.
index.
Mango habanero.
Yeah, so it still has that heat. Again, I think I put 9 habaneros in a batch of 12 bottles. So still a little bit hot. Hot going in, hot going out is not the game I play, Carlos. It has a bite. It's really good on the food, but then you're not going to have the afterburn. The last one is the green sauce. It's a jalapeno and serrano, and that one is medium to medium mild. It's mostly mild. It's mild with maybe a little bit of kick. It just depends on what time of year I make it because the peppers are hotter in the summertime. But I put that one on like scrambled eggs and tacos and everything. It's really good.
I'm like the one obviously the ghost pepper being the hottest.
Yeah, I would say both the mango habanero and the barbecue sauce are about the same.
Okay.
And then when the green sauce being a mild. So that's what you're looking at, but all really good flavor. It's interesting to me because people are like, have their own favorite depending on what they like to put it on. But that green sauce, people are asking me to send them a sampler pack of just green sauce. I'm like, okay.
So the sampler pack, how big are they each?
They're 5-ounce bottles.
Okay.
So the sampler box is 3 bottles. There's a tier for that.
And I'm sorry, I know you probably said this already. How does one get the sampler pack?
Right here on the campaign. So if you look to the big picture, if you look directly to the right, if you guys go to the campaign, on the right side are all the tiers, and it'll have usually a picture of what's in it, and it'll also have like a description. And so the hot sauce sampler comes with issue number 6, and you get 1 bottle of each of these flavors shipped to you, and you get your name.
So the main question I have is, will you ship to Canada?
I will, but you have to contact me directly because shipping is such a mess right now that what I do is I get what you're getting and I weigh it, and then I give you the accurate shipping because I'm not gonna, I can't afford to undercharge, and I definitely don't want to overcharge you. I have 2 Canadian backers on the campaign right now, and each of them paid about $25 in shipping, just so you're aware.
Okay. And do you also give the hot sauce for people who talk about women's self-defense?
Renee is just trying to get stuff.
Well, by the way, people who like the topic of women's self-defense,
oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. That's what I thought we were talking about. But anyways.
Renee's going to get arrested for importing hot sauce. Will it go through customs?
I will get arrested for other things, my friend.
Technically, if we call it a free sample, I don't know. Can they stop that? I don't know.
I don't think so, but I'm trying to. All right, I'm going on the site because I need to taste this hot sauce.
Yeah. If you don't want to do the full sampler, we have this whole section of add-ons. And so if you go, I'll show you, Dean, real quick.
Sure.
You can add on just a single bottle if you want. So up here by the top, it has the campaign, and then it has a section called rewards. And if you click on that, it'll just list all the different reward tiers without all the message, story, whatever. And in the add-ons, there's a ton of stuff, but it says a single bottle of hot sauce. And so if you just want one, you guys, you can just pick this as an add-on. And so after you pick your tier, add on a single bottle of hot sauce. And then when the campaign ends, it will send out a survey, and there's just a drop-down box. You tell me which flavor you want.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
besides the hot sauce and the comic books. If you were to, if I were to say, hey, I am looking for a self-defense program, what would you suggest that is something people should be looking for?
I don't usually suggest a one-day class to people.
Okay.
I ask them a series of questions of what I try to help them pinpoint which martial art they are comfortable with. Do you want weapons? Do you want to grapple? Do you want to, stand and strike? And then I try to point them to a reputable studio in their area where it's like you want to take a course. Usually, martial art places will let you take a course for free so you can try it out, right? So I always recommend people go try it out, go look at the studio, go see how they train. Does it stink there? All that, right? And then if they're comfortable, I say, you need to commit to a class. You need to figure it out. That's my recommendation, because we all know that those one-day courses aren't really going to help. So if people want to train with me, you can reach out to me directly. I'm in north of Dallas. I have to create time out of the universe in order to do that, because book promotion is very intense. But I would love to train. Coach Vico was like, you know what? We need to do some more. So come March, I'm going to be training with him again over the interwebs. But I always need someone to spar with. Dean was supposed to come to Texas, and I was supposed to get a chance to spar with Dean, but it fell through. Bummer.
Dean is still willing to engage in that activity if you want to.
Come to Texas.
Come to Texas. Where again in Texas are you?
North of Dallas.
North of Dallas. How far north?
About 45 minutes. I'm in a little town called Prosper, but if you're familiar with north of Dallas, it's like Frisco, McKinney, Salina. It's that area.
Okay.
So
I'm just reading some of the comments in there. Renee, it's amazing how cool Renee is. Are you familiar with episode 355 on FMA discussion? It's life-changing. Episode 355 on FMA discussion.
Oh my God! Have you not seen it?
Which one was that one?
Renee was the guest, of course. So by virtue of him being the guest, of course, it's the ultimate episode. I mean,
is that it?
I'm going to tell you. Listen, I am not. I don't like to promote myself too much, but 355 has changed people's lives.
People have been known to.
So has my hot sauce, Renee. It's changing lives.
I can't say that until I actually try the hot sauce, but I'll tell you right now.
Well, then, hop on that campaign, sir.
All right, so obviously I got to go on the website because I can't find the comment section. So when we're done here, I'm going to have to click on the website, and that would bring me to the whole thing, right?
So when we're done with the live, I would say go to the Facebook and click on the one that's not Path of the Pale Rider.
No, the first one,
right?
Correct?
The one that says KCK. That's
Correct.
the Kickstarter one, and that's where you can currently get the hot sauce.
So that's
live.
Okay.
So going back to our original topic, for me, I've discussed of what I think a self-defense course should be, but I would like to make sure that you have your say and say, this is what a women's self-defense course should be.
Like if I was going to have a 2-hour seminar?
Yes. Or just never mind a seminar, just say before you sign up for a 2-hour seminar, make sure that they have this, like A, B, and C.
Before they sign up for the seminar. Well, I mean, I would like to do like a series almost that would lead into a regular class. Like we could do a series where we do a stress inoculation. We could talk about your surroundings, having a plan, Like that could also be a series before you even get to class. You know what I mean? So that way you're in the mindset of this is how I actually protect myself. So that would be cool. Even if those are short, like if we're just talking through situations, maybe an hour each, and then spread that over a few weeks. And then it's like, okay, now that we're in that mindset of how we need to approach a class, now we get to the class. And then, like we have talked about, a woman instructor and a male counterpart that can both teach together, so the women understand that a man is a much bigger opponent and a much bigger threat. It's not, you can practice all the choke holds you want. You're not going to be able to use him when he's punching you in the face.
Yeah.
But ultimately, there needs to be, I wouldn't even call it a self-defense course. It would just need to be show up to class every week and let's pick a topic, let's discuss it, and let's focus on training that skill to help you survive. It's an ongoing thing. Everybody learns at their own pace, and so it's like it's martial arts at that point. You know what I mean?
There's no easy solution.
There is no easy solution. We know this. I mean, like even where we are now, I can still dedicate more time and increase my skill. You know what I mean? I'm not perfect. I still need to work on my footwork. I still need to work on, my timing and deception, all of that. So, and I've been doing this for 28 years.
Listen, like when I first met Dean and he was saying he could disarm my knife, and I was like,
stop it.
Hell no. And he did it. I realized I have a lot more training to do because Dean just took a knife out of my hand at will.
What do you practice, Renee?
Right now, not much.
God, this is gonna be. Oh my God.
What? Did I open Pandora's box?
Terrorizing people, following people. No, just kidding. No, just kidding.
What martial art are you currently practicing? What's your history?
I don't have a single martial art that I train with. Mm-hmm. What I can say is what I tell people, like always, like in my training area, I have a billboard that says, show up with an open mind or leave with a split head. I
love it.
I like to train in multiple arts, but I try to kind of dilute things into what I feel is reality.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had Dean show up in my basement, which is my my training area, he taught me that what I thought was, not going to happen in a knife defense. He taught me the opposite. So he actually he kind of like beat me up a little bit in my own basement, which was kind of nice and refreshing. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, I'll leave it there. Like I've trained in a lot of Filipino martial arts. I've trained a lot of I've boxed, I Thai boxed, Jeet Kune Do and everything else, and Krabi as well. Yes, Glenn. But for me, it's all about what actually works. So I have a lab in my house where I allow myself to get beaten up on a regular basis to see what actually works, as a dog brother as well. So
okay, yeah.
Did you tell me about
I really enjoy, like I'll be 100% honest, I really enjoy when I get like bullied around and get beaten up. So that's my thing.
Dean checked that box for you. How nice of you, Dean.
No, but did he tell you his favorite tactic?
No.
When he gets you, if you're pinning like a headbutt into the sternum.
Yeah.
So
that's what you do, Renee. Might be a little short for you. I don't know. I don't know if you can hit your.
He's being very kind with his words and all that, but Renee is one of the toughest cats in the clinch, man.
Cool.
Yeah, he is stellar in the clinch. Gets that head underneath your chin. It's problematic, but the headbutt to the chest was a nice.
Yeah. See, this is why I don't let people get that close to me if I can help it. Because a headbutt to you is one thing. That headbutt to me is probably devastating.
I am pro violence, and
yeah.
and I
When
think
you say,
violence
is not the answer. It's the question. The answer
I
is
strongly believe that violence and aggression will beat most people.
I'll smile while I stab you. Fun.
So that's kind of like where I stand, and I'm not saying it's for everybody, but I do believe that promising pain towards certain people will make him stop.
Yeah. By the way, I like Eric O'Brien's comment. It's hot sauce to the eye program. Yeah, that's what we're going to start. Hot sauce to the eye. That's great self-defense. Love it.
It is a very good suggestion.
Wait, hold on, Renee. Well, I just got to take this cap off. Okay, now we can fight.
Wow. So future goal. I mean, we got so obviously you got something coming up in Oklahoma. Future podcasts. Chapter 6 is.
Chapter 6 will be out in April. So this is what this is right here. This is helping to fund Chapter 6. And so Chapter 6 will be out in April. We'll probably run Chapter 7 in June. We might run the Kickstarter for Chapter 8 in the fall and then release it early 2026. And then we'll be off to the next trade paperback because it's every 4 issues. So 5, 6, 7, 8 will be in our next trade paperback.
And you got 12.
That is a good. I like it. Anything can happen down there.
You have no idea. Yeah.
Honestly, like I gotta get in touch with Martin because he did the he did a bunch of like different books. I think you guys would be awesome together.
Is he? And he does a podcast.
He does. He does. He did it. He also did a couple of books where it was like God, what was it called? I gotta remember. I can't remember right now because I'm old. Dracula Visions. He did Dracula Visions and like a bunch of other stuff. So I think you guys would be awesome.
Yeah, I would love. I mean, I could talk martial arts and comic books all night, and I usually do. This was a joy because I haven't had a chance to nerd out and talk martial arts in a while. Because the book I've been promoting this book for now 20 days and probably the 4 weeks before that. You got to push hard. Again, being independent is hard. Creating these, we have really cool stuff that people don't know that we exist. And so just getting the word out to let people know that we are doing this is very helpful. So
yeah, no, I mean, we're humble and honored to do it. I knew it would be enjoyable bringing you on. You would have a realistic lens as far as women's, good suggestions as far as the current industry of women's self-defense.
Yeah.
You put it in there, Martin Slam Duncan. Okay. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. I'm going to be on a ton of other podcasts this week.
I know you got one later tonight, right?
Yeah, it starts at 10 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock Eastern.
Live?
Late one. It's a live stream. Yeah. Sometimes they're on the West Coast. So.
Wow. Well, I'm definitely going to check out that. That hot sauce is calling me. So I'm going to definitely have to look into that.
Awesome.
But hey, don't be a stranger.
Right.
Keep us posted what you're doing and all that. So, and again, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
And thanks again. It was really lovely to meet you, Renee. I don't believe any of the bad things that Dean told me about.
Well, I mean, I had to give you some a precursor to what you're getting into.
You have no idea.
He's like, they're all true. What happens in the basement stays in the basement. That's a great. I mean, like we would do that every week at the martial arts school. Like, don't talk about it.
One of my instructors is actually in Texas as well. So When I come in and visit him, I will give you a shout, and maybe we can do some training or just like chill out and.
Yeah. What part?
With hot sauce.
Well, what part of Texas, first of all? Because
He's in
Texas
Houston.
is giant. He's where?
Houston.
Houston? That's about a 4-hour drive for me.
So I'll just give you a shout and say, "Hey, I'm
You
down
can
here."
wave at me as you land on your plane. Hey, Laurie. Nice to meet
But
you.
anyways, absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, Dean. I appreciate
All right.
That's what Dean
Anytime.
told me to say.
Anytime.
Yeah.
If you got something new popping up, let us know. Seriously, we'll bring you back. No worries.
Cool. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Carlos, love seeing you, dude. And Trisha, where'd you go?
I think
friends now.
he might have vacated. I'm not sure.
All right.
Yeah. So, but
Guys.
awesome. You take care.
Oh, do you want me?
I got. Ooh. Man, I thought that was great. Yeah, I thought she. I thought
we
she.
gotta. We have to. Seriously, have to work on your blinds.
You know what? I'm coming so used to them. I think it would be completely. It would really be. You know what it is? They become a part of me. I don't think I can do it now. Like it. I think if it was going to happen.
You're wearing a Misfits T-shirt. You have to get your blinds fixed.
I don't know if I can do it. Like they're beautiful. I've become one with them. You know what I mean? I just don't know. I got to really think about it. I don't know.
I love it. Hey, listen, anybody who's actually watching.
Oh, we got to run that by, see if anybody can do that, right?
Yeah, we're looking for someone who can actually do a
Don't touch it. I agree, Glenn.
What's the word we're looking for again?
Yeah, we want. Hey, folks, if you're watching, anybody knows anybody, or maybe you perhaps could do yourself. We're looking for somebody to make us an intro. Again, it doesn't have to be anything like us doing anything. It could be us just looking out a window, thinking about 355 and the effect it had on us. You know what I mean? It could be anything, but we just like to have an intro for the show is all. And we're not good at it. We don't even know how to go about it, to be quite honest with you.
And we're willing to spend tens of dollars.
Now, we try to GoFundMe, but as you know, when they tried to campaign to GoFundMe for my blinds, we all know how well that worked out. So we're not going to do the GoFundMe for an intro. But if anybody's a computer geek, tech geek, animation geek, whatever, and you think it's something you could do, man, we would be forever grateful.
We will even have you on the show for 35 seconds.
Yeah, and he did this for us. All right, thank you.
Awesome.
But yeah,
Dean, listen, that was cool. I enjoyed that.
I knew you would like her. I knew it. Yeah, I definitely. I might know some. Here we go, Carlos. Already. I might know somebody. I'll speak with them. He's one. Oh, I really appreciate that. Thank you, Carlos. That'd be awesome. Yeah, just to kind of put a nice touch to it. I mean, here's the problem, folks. If I were to pull like a music video, then it just you can't download. I mean, then I can't download. It just opens up a whole bunch of issues as far as ownership rights and et cetera, et cetera. So,
especially if it's like a Stevie Ray Vaughan.
That would get flagged. Yes. Unfortunately. Yeah, but whatever. Yeah, we could just give them some whoever volunteers to help us. We can just give them some ideas, I guess. Again, it doesn't have to be us doing anything, like far as martially speaking, right?
No, we just look like this.
Yeah, like I could be pulled over on the side of the road, just
and just look at 355. We're good.
Yeah, just in a trance.
Yes.
And the phone rings. Dean, what are you doing? Oh, I lost time. I was sidetracked. Something came about 355 and I had to pull over.
Amazing. All right.
Awesome. It was a great one. So next week, folks, who is coming on? Well, could be a paramedic. Could be
Stan Morrow. I really hope we can get Stan on next week because honestly, it's we're missing that. We're missing the the paramedic side of this, where we're actually looking at how can we stop someone from bleeding out
or dying. I think it's pertinent. I think it'd be great. Yeah. So, in the event we didn't get him on, we have a whole list of folks that would like to come on. So needless to say, there will definitely be a show next Wednesday. We just don't know who yet. So.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. As always, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And awesome. I will be in touch. I'm not touching the blind. No, can't do it. Awesome. Well, we'll be obviously in touch. So.
Thank you.
All right. Be good. Bye, everybody. Stop the thread.